So the title is just a catchphrase, kind of. Minimalism is a pretty big buzzword that goes around nowadays. And it was something that I found out about a couple years ago. But I've been trying to abide by it, and if you're questioning, how can you be a minimalist if you're collecting items or a collector? It's more of what you find of value, and I've been really enjoying my time with anime and manga. Well, I started reading manga itself in 2011, maybe 2010. I don't actually remember what year, but it's been a better part of the decade, and I actually started with the one and only Vinland Saga at the end. I have the first volume for it, but I hadn't actually started collecting until this year, 2020. So in March, maybe April, is when I placed a pre-order for the first two volumes, and that would be SpyxFamily and Act Age. So some of the rules or parameters that I try to live by when I'm collecting is most of the stuff that I read, especially for manga, is online. I do pay for the monthly Viz media. So online, that's like $2 for the entire online catalog of Viz. And obviously I read a lot of scans online, and the stuff that you see in my collection so far, especially the ones that I have read before, are stuff that I've rated at least a 5 out of 10 or higher, because those are ones that I've really enjoyed. And obviously there's going to be some deviations as I get into it of ones that I haven't read or choose to pick up. One of the big things in this medium that I really enjoy is time-related stuff, so I want to be able to own all of it. So yeah, let's get into it and take a look at this collection. Sorry about the shakiness. I don't have a tripod, so I'm going to try to do my best and try not to take too much of your time. I've actually been watching a ton of manga collection videos. I think some of my favorite ones are Boogie Snacks and East Coast Manga. So I'll put their links down in the description below. But I've been inhaling these manga collection videos, and before we get into it, I'll kind of give you the format. The stuff that I really enjoy in manga collection videos is not just, a quick glance of what we got and what people got, but more so on why they have it and what makes it special for them and why they chose to own it physically. So I want to go a little more in depth on why I picked the series that I picked, especially for a lot of the stuff that's, new and not used. I've picked it for a certain reason, so okay, let's jump into it. The first one here on the left is Made in Abyss. I only actually decided to read it because Kevin Penkin, who did the music for the Made in Abyss anime, was doing the music for Tower God anime, which I was extremely hyped about in April. Obviously, for me, the Tower God anime did not live up to its expectations, but I wanted to check out the biggest thing that was in Kevin Penkin's catalog for sound design, and so I checked out Made in Abyss, and I loved it. I liked the anime, but I loved the manga even more. The kind of like childish, like journal-like sketches for the artwork, on top of the extremely rough but elegant designs that you see in the Made in Abyss manga, is amazing. It's something that's really designed for a video game, and I would love to see a video game for it in the future, probably in a couple years, at the minimum. But the third movie, The Made in Abyss Dawn of the Deep Soul, actually came out earlier this year. So if you haven't checked it out, and if you've only seen the first season, you should definitely check it out. The current arc that we're in with Faputa is my favorite. It has the best backstory in manga, period. The backstory is awesome. I don't really want to go into spoilers. I'll just hit some of the highlights on why I enjoy it, but yeah, the backstory is great. You should definitely check it out. Next one we got is The Promised Neverland. This was a series, and I only picked up the first 5 volumes because that wraps up the first opening arc of the series, which I consider to be the best opening arc of manga. Now, the anime adaptation of this for season 1 was really good, and I'm rewatching it to prepare for season 2. And although I didn't enjoy the anime version as much, because when I was reading the manga for the first time, it was extremely exhilarating, and that kind of rush that you get for each chapter with the reveals, it was something, since I know what happens, the anime obviously can't recreate that experience for me. But some of the design work and the sound work, especially with Isabella, who is one of my favorite antagonists, is great, and she shines in this first opening arc. Also, the art style is very unique, so it's definitely something to check out. If you haven't seen it, there's one season out right now, and season 2 starting in January. SpyxFamily. So this is a new one. It's only about a year old, and I love it. The dynamics between the family of of Lloyd, Anya, and Yor, on top of their pet that they pick up. I don't think that's actually till much later, maybe in volume 5. Obviously, I'm caught up. It's bi-monthly on Jump. The art style is really good. It's actually interesting that the author, Endo, was a assistant to Fujimoto, who does Chainsaw Man, which is down the line, which we'll get to. So it's cool that the assistant is also having their own series. So that's awesome. Definitely check it out for extremely fun slice of life and kind of like just fun antics. Anya is so cute. I can't say no to her. So this is obviously the back of it, but this is for A Silent Voice, which is my favorite anime movie, and the manga also is great. If you haven't checked out the movie, you definitely have to. It is amazing. Yamada, who's the director for it, is one of my favorite directors, and I'm slowly working through her catalog. I still have K-On! Movie, the second season of K-On!, as well as, what else? I think she also did Tamako Love Story, the movie for that. So I need to check out those eventually to finish her catalog that she has out so far. But A Silent Voice is a beautiful story. I love Shoujo, I love Nishimiya. They're all great. So Paradise Kiss is one that I recently picked up because it was on sale for Right Stuff. Right Stuff has been very bad for me because the deals are really good. Paradise Kiss is by the same creator as Nana. I haven't seen Nana, so I haven't actually read Paradise Kiss yet. But the character designs for both Nana and Paradise Kiss, from what I've seen, like on clips or stuff on Twitter, has been really interesting and really fun. And this volume, especially the cover of this, is extremely beautiful because it's the 20th anniversary edition of it. So I picked it up. So once I finish Nana itself, I will take a look at it and actually start reading it. But until then, it'll probably sit on my shelf for a while. So, Act Age, or Act Dodge. If you don't know the situation for it, the writer is a scumbag, and did some extremely terrible things that shouldn't be done, and he is behind bars right now, so the series is actually cancelled. It sucks for Uzuzaki Sensei, who's extremely young. She's, I think, in her 20s right now, and a remarkably amazing artist who just got ripped away, and now her I guess her brand is tied to the series. I love the series, but it's a shame that it has such a stain on it, and it's amazing to see that Uzuzaki Sensei actually has a new one-shot out that's still only in Japanese. I'm sure it'll get translated to English eventually, so I'll definitely take a look at it, but it's called The Fire-Eyed Cyclops, or Flame-Eyed Cyclops, so you should definitely check that out if you don't want to check out Act Edge instead. Komi Can't Communicate is the first manga series that I actually only read physically. So all the other ones I've read, I usually read online, and then, if I really like it, I'll pick it up. But I was in Barnes & Nobles for the first time, and I was like, I might as well pick up something just to read it. I love Komi. Her design is awesome. She's extremely cute. I like her little quirk. I think it's pretty fun. I think I want to stay physical only for this, just to experience that, because I haven't. So whenever I pick up the volumes for that, I will. In general, except for these, like maybe Made in Abyss and SpyxFamily, all the other series that I have, I'll probably not collect like every time they release a volume, because the first volume is more than enough for me to kind of start my catalog, and then if they end up going on sales, then I'll do it. I'll buy more then. So other than Made in Abyss, which pumps out chapters extremely infrequently, SpyxFamily, where volume 4 actually comes out I think in March, and Act Dodge, we're not going to get any more volumes. So other than those two up there, I don't think I'll be collecting more than past the first volume unless there's a good deal. Alright, anyways, Chainsaw Man is the craziest experience of a weekly shonen jump that I've ever had. It is chaotic, it is fun, I enjoy all the female characters, I enjoy Denji. My favorite one is Makima. Chainsaw Man is a crazy, wild experience, to say the least, an extremely wild experience. I love Denji, I love how Fujimoto writes his stories. They're quite fun and quite engaging. Even though I didn't know what was going on in chapters like 70 to 90 almost, I still had an extremely fun time. You guys should definitely check it out. It's a much more mature series for sure. There's some stuff that it's hard to say how it got away in Jump, but Fujimoto loves to subvert expectations, and he did an amazing time riling up. So the series is actually done for part 1. Part 2, we don't know when it's coming out, and the anime is coming out sometime in 2021. But yeah, quite fun. You should definitely check it out if you can. Deadman Wonderland. So I read this series a long time ago. Probably in like 2013, if I remember correctly. And I think it was good. I don't actually remember it. I just picked up the first volume because I've been seeing it on a lot of people's like collection videos. And the alternating white and black with the lines for the prisons is quite cool, and it looks fun, so I do want to get into it and re-experience the series. So I picked up the first volume. I haven't actually reread it yet. I will. And if I do enjoy it as much as I think I did, I'll pick up the other ones. So Blood on the Tracks is an extremely scary manga, to say the least. The mother is crazy, and I don't want to say too much because like within the first chapter or first couple of chapters in this first volume, there's a huge twist that's like extremely shocking. So just read it. The art is really good. I've been told that he's done a lot of really good ones, like his prior work, but his art has gotten even better now. So yeah. Orange is a series that I've only seen the anime for. It is a time-related series. I hate it. I hated the anime. I watched it for 2 reasons. So the character designer for Orange for the anime was the same character designer as Tower of God, and I really respect Nino Miho's work, so I wanted to check it out, and it had some kind of time mechanics, and I love time-related stuff, so I was like, sure, why not? Yeah, I did not enjoy it. Maybe I was too fixated on the time-related mechanic and how poorly I felt it was handled, so I picked up the complete collection. I know there's like Orange Future, but that's more of a movie. So I picked it up. I'll read through it probably during this winter break to see if I actually enjoy it, but I think I have the anime at a 3 right now, so I'm not going in with high expectations. So this little corner is my Yukimura corner. I love Yukimura. He does an amazing job at creating characters and showing character development, and as kind of his highlight, Planetas, I don't actually know how to pronounce it, is his first work that was serialized. I read it pretty recently, and it was a very short volume, a very short series, so it was quite fun to get by. But Vinland Saga is my number 1. I've been reading it for about 10 years now. I think I was caught up at the Farmland Saga. So I was going through that as a teenager. It was a quite fun, I wouldn't say fun, a very emotional and I guess like maturing experience to see Thorfinn grow as I grew as well. And that's why it's my number 1. I love Thorfinn. I love Askeladd. The anime came out in 2019. It was okay. Obviously, I enjoy Yukimura's work in the manga first. Generally, if I see a series in like one medium first, I generally prefer that medium better if it's in a different medium. If you couldn't tell, like for Promised Neverland or Made in Abyss or Vinland Saga, I enjoy the manga versions for because that's just what I was exposed to first. Also, the stuff I have here on the side is just stuff that I keep for things that I'm, playing. So I had the PS5. Cyberpunk's been a little buggy right now, so haven't been touching it. Just got Cold War for zombies. And I got the Blu-ray for Violet Evergarden. We'll get into the Blu-ray, like the full collection there, but I'm rewatching that as well. So the thing on the left, or not the thing, but the book on the left is not actually manga, it's an actual book. It's called On Writing and Worldbuilding by Timothy Hitchson. He's a YouTuber that does a lot of stuff on Avatar The Last Airbender. So I really enjoyed his work on there, and he compiled it into a book, so I got it to learn about world building a little more. This thing right here is the Silent Voice anime, like the movie for it. It's a beautiful cover. It came with a lot of nice like cover art, and the cover itself is a nice texture, and I wanted that to be the first series that I had both the anime and manga for. I usually don't pick anime because it's exponentially more expensive than manga, but it was on a nice deal, so I did get it. And this little section here from Full Metal Alchemist all the way to, I think it's called Shadow Lady here at the end, is all the stuff that I've kind of found thrifting. So some of these series, like I literally just picked up a couple of days ago or a couple weeks ago, so I haven't gotten into it. I have seen both Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, like the anime for it, long time ago, and I don't remember much. So I'm trying to use these volumes that I have as a good foundation to try to get back into the series. I actually picked up all 12 of these volumes for 50 cents a pop, so it was a pretty good deal. Fruits Basket is something that one of my friends got me. I enjoyed the first volume. It was different because I'm not usually into reading like romance, but this was his favorite, so I'm giving it a shot. If I do enjoy it and I get through a little more into the series, I would like to collect the perfect edition versions for it. I do enjoy hardcovers a lot more, so yeah. And these are a couple others. I'm just gonna list them off because I haven't read them because I just picked them up. But Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer volumes, I think 1 and 2. Marmalade Boy, volume 7. X-Day volume 1. These two are like Tokyo Pop's sneak peeks from 2004. So they have a collection of a bunch of manga, the first chapters. So it's a set of, I think one of them has the Mega Man one, so I am excited to actually read that. Karakano, which I want to see the anime first, and then I'll get into the series. Dragon Ball, Volume 15. Naruto, Volume 7. Soul Eater, Volume 20. As you can see, I actually have the perfect edition for Soul Eater, so I'll get to that for it. And then I found these two random, Japanese volumes. The first one is Slam Dunk. It's like an anime version of Slam Dunk. And then the other one is Slam Dunk Volume 12. I've only read the first volume of all of the author's works. So Slam Dunk, Real, and Vagabond. So I'll probably continue Slam Dunk now that I have this Japanese volume, even though I can't read a lick of Japanese, but more incentive to start going for it. This next one is called Shadow Lady The Awakening. It's an extremely old series, and also I found thrifting from my friend Ghost X Sigma. He picked it up for me. I think it's from 1995, and it's actually printed left to right before they flipped it over back to the original. So yeah. So back to my regular series that I picked up. Satoshi Kon did. I watched. I've only seen one of his movies, and I've seen it recently, Perfect Blue. It was extremely good, and I've been told that Opus is just as good. or Opus is one of his better manga. So I wanted to read it, so I picked it up. I haven't touched it yet. I will. But yeah. Hell's Paradise is by Kaku, and Kaku was also an assistant for Fujimoto back in Fujimoto's Fire Punch days, same as the SpyxFamily. It's the author, so all three of them have known each other and worked together. The art style is actually really good. It's a very it's a pretty standard shonen for my eyes. Like there's a nice power system. It's not, too out there, but the elements that they do with the uneasiness of the creatures and the kind of lore that they built into it has been really fun for me to binge through. I binged through it pretty recently once I got the first volume, and the art is really cool. I really like Gabumaru. I like the twist that's with his story. I also resonated with a lot of the characters more than I thought. Blue Period is about an artist. I like Yaguchi a lot as a main character. I think the first chapter has a really, really strong hook, especially someone interested in art in general. So if you are, you should definitely check it out. The writing is some of the best writing I've seen, and when the art shines, it really shines. So it is awesome. Definitely check it out. Soul Eater, I honestly was enticed by the volume cover. I mean, I don't particularly enjoy Fire Force. I think the character designs are good. I think the art is good, but I mean the story isn't that all there. Soul Eater, I mean, it's by the same author, but it was his prior work. I really hated the first chapter. I hated the father, but after finally getting through this first Perfect Edition volume, it's pretty good. I enjoy the setting. I still enjoy the character models, but I don't know. I haven't decided if I want more. Again, I really like the I really like the characters, the character designs themselves. So I might do it just because it looks so nice. Over here is just a bunch of Steelbooks. Steelbooks are the reason why I actually started collecting physically in general. So the first one that I actually got was the Final Fantasy VII Remake. That was in March or April. And then I have Ghost of Tsushima, and then you saw Cyberpunk up here. Those are the 3 games. And then I have the four random Spider-Man movies. I don't think they all fit together, but they're 4 Spider-Man movies and 1 Steelbook, and then 2 anime movies with Weathering with You, Weathering with You was the first anime movie that I saw in theaters, and it was definitely an experience. It was fun seeing that on the big screen. So I had to pick up the Steelbook, and I just recently picked up Grave of the Fireflies. It's very frustrating. The movie is very frustrating. And it'll definitely make you cry for Grave of the Fireflies. So yeah, that is it is a movie, and it's fun. I enjoyed it, but I don't know if I'll rewatch it anytime soon, that's for sure. And I have a little gap here. I was waiting for a couple boxes, but they haven't come in yet. Mainly, I ordered Land of the Illustrious, or Hoseki no Kuni, volumes 1 through 10, except 8 was out of stock. So hopefully those will come in, and those will be the first pickups of the new year of 2021. So my final shelf here, it's kind of a big assortment of a bunch of different things. We have the deluxe edition of Berserk, my baby here. I want to pick up the other 5, but they're quite expensive. And I only got this because I was at Barnes & Noble's and it was calling my name, so I picked it up. The color walk is some drawings from Oda from One Piece. It's the only One Piece thing that I own, because if I start collecting the volumes, I'm going to end up picking all 95 of them, which is very bad, so I haven't. So thank you to my friend that gave it to me for Christmas. He was very thoughtful, and I love Oda. This is just Calvin and Hobbes. These are some hardbacks that were on sale during Thanksgiving, so I picked it up. Ajin is something that I picked up pretty recently. These volumes are really fun. The series is extremely short, but very concise, and with the themes of immortality really played upon. And behind it is the limited edition for seasons 1 and 2 of Ajin. I haven't seen the anime for it, but the art, like the cover for the Ajin like box sets, look beautiful, so I picked it up. And then these are the other 2 anime things that I have. Chihayafuru, which I haven't seen yet, but it was on sale during Black Friday. And then Violet Evergarden, little box for it, which is where the Blu-ray comes from. I'm going through the Blu-ray right now, but yeah. And then behind here is just a bunch of like video games that are there, and then a couple of like DVDs that I picked up because it was on Black Friday. It's Madoka Box and Fate Stay Night. I haven't seen either of them, but I will eventually. And this is just Pokemon Sword. And the last thing that I have is the Monogatari box set 2, or season 2. I haven't actually seen Monogatari. I will see it, but I want this to be the first light novel series that I get into, so starting now. I think box set 1 actually went on sale or got back on stock recently, so whenever box set 3 comes out, I'll pick it up, and then I'll start reading, or maybe watching it by then. I just haven't decided which one I want to do. So yeah, that's my collection. I think I have to count up to figure out actually how many I have. But yeah. I'll probably not do any big pickups until summer or winter, because Right Stuff sales are pretty good. And again, since I read most of the stuff online, it's not like I need the physicals, except a few like Komi and Soul Eater. Those are 2 that I've only read physically, so I'll probably keep those as physicals. And I want to pick up the full collection for Vinland Saga. If it is my top 1 manga, I want to pick up the rest of the hardcovers eventually. But yeah, thank you so much. I will see you on another one. Peace.